outside. Entry out.
31st. Or 30th, shit on.
After Christmas.
Crazy news, there's no more key classes.
Say what?
There's no more key classes this year. Yeah.
Good job.
He's gonna take that. He's gonna take Northern now. There you go.
Walk it out.
None of them did. He's 8.
But that's awful.
He's only
Grab a partner. We're going to switch up today. We'll do a little turtle action. So, CJ starts the turtle. We're going to start. We're trying to work, make sure at angles, and that we're not going head on. We're going to work at angles. We're going to practice spinning on our chest, and then getting him out of this turtle, whether it's reaching across for his far arm and his leg, pull him to us, reach under, drive it, work your Peruvian necktie, working in some crucifixes if you know them, but if anything else, just work on warming up, spinning, getting used to spinning and being quick from one side to the other. Try to work on that angle, but you're not straight and forward, okay? All right, grab your partner, let's go. I'll tell you when to switch.
No. It's not very fair. He sucks. Yeah, that's all right. All I can do.
Yeah. Just makes it a little harder to fish out change from underneath the refrigerator.
Yeah.
What's that?
Keep your fingers like that.
Oh. You say fish and change out from under the refrigerator?
You're gonna pull it back. Trying to get the stuff in between the seats.
If you want a little resistance, tell your training partner if you want some resistance, tell them to resist you a little bit. Go ahead and switch.
It works. It works. $3.99, man. Still looking good.
Yeah, I bought us some slippers about 5 years ago.
All right, guys. So today we're gonna kind of play into what we just warmed up with. So today we're gonna talk about a really good way of putting it, which I've tried to explain before, how it's kind of related. Eli Knight. If you've ever wanted some resources, go to YouTube, look up Eli Knight or Knight Jiu-Jitsu. He does really well, and he explains things very well. For me, it's a good resource because the way he teaches, I grasp it, right? Some people like some teachers a certain way, some people like others. I like it because he's very fundamental. He doesn't spend if you've ever watched the John Danaher series, it's very in-depth, but if you go to sleep real easily listening to someone drone on, he will put you to sleep in a heartbeat. Matter of fact, if you really want to learn jiu-jitsu by osmosis, just put on some John Danaher. You'll go to sleep, you'll wake up, and he'll still be talking. 8, 9 hours later, you might be halfway through the series. So he just goes, and it's slow, and it's like, I'm like, okay, John, I just need you to get to it. Gordon's a little better, he gets to it, but it's a lot of information. Eli Knight is kind of a blend of the two, very quick to the point when he speaks. Like, he speaks at a good pace, he shows you what you need to see, gives you the situations, and he seems like a really humble guy. What he calls is the fraternal twins submission. Basically what we're talking about is Anaconda, Darce, Peruvian necktie, and it can go into guillotines, it can go into other things, right? Bravo chokes, things like that. What I like to do is I like to base it around a loop. So if we have this loop here, we can get to these. Now, depending on where your loop is, it's going to depend on which one you're going to do. And it's always going to be one arm and a head, right? So if you get a head and arm, you know you have a situation. So here it's here. If I were to come in here, I have his head and arm. If I want to do the Darce comes up by the neck. Outside in, up by the neck. Anaconda is inside out by the arm. Alright? And then your Peruvian necktie kind of lingers in the middle. And that's the one where you're going to step up over the head. Sorry. You hit them in the head just enough that it dazes them. They don't know how to defeat it. No can defend. And you land more strikes in that round, copy box numbers. Makes you the winner. So, let's talk about the Anaconda. Your loop is around a head and arm, okay? This way right here. All right, we're head and arm. We're gonna come in here. We have it. A lot of people are strong here. If you can reach and grab this with one arm, it'll start to set you up, okay? Now, do you have to finish from here? If they're really strong and he pulls his elbow back, you can always lever it out by grabbing at the elbow. This is a good lever. If you try to grab here, go ahead and pull it back. If I try to grab there, not so good. But here, resist. Is this your shoulder I can resist with? All right. Resist a little bit, we'll pull this, and it levers it, right? Then you can get your grip. You can do 2 on 1. The purpose of this is that we're going to get this tucked underneath him. We're going to roll. As we roll, we're going to tighten it up. There's been 2 trains of thought when it comes to the Anaconda on when we lock this, okay? This is the grip you want to finish with to secure it. Some people say, get the grip like I just had, or a gable, break that arm underneath them, you lock it immediately, then you roll. Others will say, break it, keep it tight, roll, and then lock it up once you get to the other side. Now, all that being said, my personal thought is, you're in that moment, you're doing it, you decide which one you want to use. If one of them you're jamming, you use this one specifically one all the time, then use that one. It works for you. Sometimes for me, it's situational, right? If the person's not resisting much, I can work and lock it in. That person's got wide body frame and everything is crazy, being extended, and I can't really give myself the option to do this or they'll break free. And I'll just keep it tight, roll through it. Once we've gotten it tighter through the roll, I'll tighten it on the back, right? Here's how that looks. We come in, right? We get the arm. We're gonna get it here. Traditionally, we're gonna pop up. I'm gonna kick my foot through, boom, and we roll. As we roll, this gets tighter, and if you have not locked it in, this is when you're gonna lock it in, just like this. Bring your wrist and your hand up by your face. If you can bring it, you can put your chin over it, that's fine. However, you get it tight, then you're gonna bring your body close to his, hopefully reaching for his legs, and then you can pull him in and finish the choke. Another thing that you can do from here, lay back and go easy. If I find myself in this position and his hand is reaching out like this or is coming up, what you can do, in that case, perfect. If you're locked in and he grabs his own leg, awesome. He just made it really easy for you. But if his hand is out, you can always bring this in to break it down. And when you do that, you're gonna drop your knee in and it locks it in even more. It closes it towards his body. The way the choke and the mechanics of it, one arm goes around the neck, the other one presses in on the deltoid, presses together, closing that off. As you roll, it gets tighter when you roll. As you're squeezing a little bit, you don't have to really squeeze with all your strength. As you roll, it gets tighter. Then you lock it in, or if you've already got it locked in, you start to squeeze it, walk your feet towards their legs, get the bend in his neck. I've heard it put, there's two ways to close a hose off when it's running. You can either squeeze it shut, or you can put a kink in, right? These are hoses running towards your brain. So you can either squeeze it and make it choke, or you can put a kink in. Your hand comes in there and you boom, and you shut it off. So think that when you get to that other side and you're walking your legs towards his leg, you're trying to put a kink in those vessels that are leaving the blood to the brain. Any questions? One more time. We come in, we're gonna shoot our arm through, we're gonna pull it in, whether you use an able to break it, or your hands, or he just doesn't really realize what's happening. If you can lock it in, great. You're gonna step some pressure in towards him. Pull through, boom. We're walking, we're getting tighter, 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 tighter. Good rule is if I feel his head here, I'm bending his neck. Walking towards the hips. All right, give it your partners on 3. 1, 2, 3.
It felt like it was.
But now you can take that arm and go like this. Pull your arm out back. Yeah. See how that, there you go. Break that down. And then step up on your feet, on your toes, and kick through. Roll. Now lock it up. Slide your hand to lock it up. Perfect. And then you're going to walk towards his legs. Throw your leg over his legs. Pull him in tight. And then just start to close that gap and squeeze. So, pull him in. Just start to pull it in. Once you guys get to that nice curled up position, legs are locked, you can just start to slowly. I personally don't squeeze until I've got their leg.
Yeah,
Then it's tight, and then you shouldn't have to give a lot. It should be pretty much almost done. If you do have to squeeze, it's just a little. I lock it in tight, but no bicep squeeze until I'm done, usually. Then again, if it's life or death, do what you gotta do. Inside of your bicep. And then walk it up, walk your hand up if you need to. There you go. That's fine. Throw it over, pull in, and then squeeze your biceps into it. There you go.
Yeah. I feel like
Those are really
if you have a difficult time like doing the grip one, just put both hands on it and push it. And then you can come out too. That's an option. Yep. If you're super flexible and you're having a hard time with that arm, you can actually take your foot and bring it up here and knock it over. It's like a CJ move right there. Like CJ did that. You see what I'm saying? If you're having a hard time bringing it down here,
It almost just actually it's like a tap. It's not even choking.
let's say you get it. Boom. Here, swinging his arm out, right? That's like, get that big double body. It's there.
Yeah. Does it matter if I get on my knees? It's starting super uncomfortable. You know?
So if you're sitting there, don't go all the way up. Just use that gable grip that you had. Boom. Right? Now start walking your legs. Put these legs and curl. If you have to do that because your arms aren't on it, this doesn't feel comfortable. Some people will grab your arm, but if you can keep it tight enough, if you can keep it tight enough, and also,
Yeah, I should feel it.
just have it all.
Yeah.
If you can grab two hands on the tricep first,
When you hold on to it, I don't think
so I come across here,
just hold on.
right? And I get here and Caleb brings his elbow back, right? Boom, and I just can't really get there. So two hands on the tricep, I'll wing it and shove it. Hold here.
Don't let go of this.
Then as you roll,
Keep that hit on your stomach.
the goal is this. Either way, you gotta feel his head
Almost feels like it is.
on the chest. I'll show you.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you keep that grip.
It's still there. You can get
Your head
like
pops out either way.
on my head and then
Right? So here, boom, this guy's got like, come in here, can't break it down, so I'll wing it, throw it, cable grip it tight, and when I grip it, I pull it back that way, at an angle, boom,
Yeah, it gives you some space every now and then.
keeping his head tucked
Situation.
to my, I feel it right here.
You make it tough.
But it's like, I don't, if I transition, I have an opportunity. You resist me the whole time, just feel like when I transition,
I felt like you definitely took me where you did gable grip instead of, right, because your arms are a little bit shorter.
yeah. So, just like the triangles, where you're like, "Coach, I'll never be able to get a triangle with somebody." Well,
What's
if
that?
you're not ever be able to walk through a triangle like me, you might get
Now I'm just doing the inch.
locked in when it's still super tight, tighter than me.
Should I try it on you just so you can kind of see where?
I remember the first
You're gonna
time
do the slide up?
Garrett.
You're gonna do the regular slide or just use it?
I want to try the game.
Right, so they're coming out like here.
Yeah.
So pull the elbows up, just boom, and across.
Yeah.
Because it's and you're really situating.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that.
yeah, I mean, like, it'd be risky to like try to roll on your neck
Yeah.
like that.
It was already tight.
That didn't look tight.
Because it
It
feels
was
like,
already tight before I
I
even.
feel like when I'm on my side, I lose a lot of my power. It just feels weird being.
So do it again. Yeah, I know. Do it again. But this time,
It doesn't feel like-
I don't do it as tight. Just keep my head here. Get to it. And just real tight. Because it was already built before we even rolled. And it's cinch it in, but not like a super easy roll. That's good right there. Because I don't feel like I can move. Now, you want to just go ahead and roll. Now, walk in, my head on your chest, grab the leg. I know I can. But you gotta,
So that.
so when we're here, suck it in tight, just, yeah, prop those elbows. So, guys, what we're talking about is, if you have a difficulty sliding that hand up, you can do it with the gable. What you may be doing is, the first time you did it, with the gable, you gotta be tight all the time, right? So, what we realized is, so he doesn't feel comfortable going here because he feels like his hand slips. And that's understandable. For those who do that, whose hand slips, you have to understand your body and yourself and like, look, coach, when I try it, when I lock it in before I roll, it's tight and I don't slip. If I try to lock it in after I roll, then I slip. Have you locked it in before you roll yet?
I don't know if I tried that.
Right. That might be what you need to do. Or here, let me do it. Okay, so try to lock it in. Now, here's the thing. Ready? To do this, you come up on your toes before you gator roll. Drive into it with your weight and then lock it in, right? So you get your gable, pull it across. Now, slide it up to your, yes, as deep as you can. You can even turn a little bit. There it is. Now roll. Walk in, keeping his head on your chest. You feel like you're slipping? You felt like you slipped a little bit? I wasn't. So, here's up.
You can tell when you got the big, all the muscles of that short arm.
Well, now try it again. real quick, if you're good. Try it again. But this time do the gable like you did with me, and just keep it as tight as you can the whole way through. That may be what you're gonna have to do. So gable tight, tight, pull it back. Then you pull it to your left hip. Yes, now what? You already that. Sorry. That's what I felt. Sorry, that's what I felt when he tried. And I said, just pull it hard. Dude, he rolled me. It was already getting there. And as he rolled me, I felt like the world was trying to make its way through my brain. It was like, yeah. So for you, for the roll, you're just gables. The gable is fine.
Better.
When you're pulling your gable,
I was trying to tap before you started rolling.
I heard that. Like, as soon as you rolled you over, I was like, no, let it go. When you gable, bring it like you're putting it in your pocket.
Right?
Bring it like you're putting it in your pocket. That's gonna be like, boom, and then you roll through, okay? Granted, with him, you may be different. Because he's got a thinner neck, more slim frame.
I'm under 200
He's a
pounds.
victim. He's a victim.
You said that to me. You said it to me right after.
I think you're a victim.
I told him. I said with this, I said, hey, do you like Arnold Schwarzenegger? And he's like, the old one, yeah. I said, well, good, because this. And then it's like, if you're under 200 pounds, I will take your woman. Your woman will take you for a real man.
You're a victim.
You're a victim. All right, so definitely have this type, but I try it real quick. CJ, try that.
It's like this on a victim.
Yeah.
This one's better.
He texted me, as soon as I said to him, though, he texted me, he goes, man, Eric just sent me that shit.
To your pocket, now roll first. Walk it in. Yeah, just fight it away, so you know what's good. It's there. Take your leg. Nice. Walk over that. Step your hand over by your body. Just keep it tight. Steady press. Don't fall to your side. Just walk. Hey, walk. Use the one under the time clock, not shoot. Nice and easy. Bring your knee up by his arm. Yeah. So the point of this is this.
He's just showing you how to do it.
Yeah.
He's trying to
Turn
prove
your
he's not a
hip
victim.
over and rotate over into it. Keep the same lock. Switch your legs. Now turn in. Now drive in. Chest pressure. Nice. See how you got two legs and one out? So a guy who's way more squirrely, you're gonna nice. Now you go into it. And then squeeze. Nice. Get your gable. All right. Good fight. Good fight. So
Now he's gonna be way more of a squirrely person than anybody else.
yeah. So, but you see the point. The point is, when you pull this on a bigger person, you may not be able to get that lock in as deep. See it being max.
Yeah.
But smaller person, you were able to lock it in. You're like, yeah. But what else was it? He was faster in escaping because he knew which way to go. And even though you had it locked in, you could survive longer because he didn't have the mass of that big shoulder press against his neck. That's why it's good to train with all different body styles. But you come in here, and if it's just these guys, you're like, oh, bro, boom. Then you train with these guys, and it's like, and they're just walking away. Something to remember. If you've got the head and arm loop attached to them, it is not, you don't have a time clock on you. Time clock is on them. So instead of chasing him down like that, remember I said like switch, start thinking of ways, think of the process in the games. I got a businessman, right? CJ did a good job keeping his arm out. You tried to bring your leg over to trap that arm, but he was just no. So you keep the pressure, you switch your hips, you came up. Once you got close enough, then you did it, and then you went in. So the process is you gotta bend that neck to kick off the tubes. So take your time, keep a decent squeeze. That's why a lot of people are fighting with everything you have. I like to save the squeeze for the very last. So if I've tightened everything up as much as possible, and all I need is just that little bit left, then I can just apply a little pressure, and it should be good. But if from the get-go you're, how long do you think you can do that?
Yeah.
He would have withstood the storm, and he got it, right? So use your angles, use your technique and your pressure that you can use without exerting energy, and then use your energy at the end, and that's all you need is that last little bit to get over the finish. So, with that being said, that's the Anaconda. There's different variations of the Anaconda on how to finish. For CJ, knowing that he runs, then I would resort to a different finish for the Anaconda, because he's going to run away. Boom, lock in, benefit of the roll that tightens everything up, but you do end up with them on their side and you have their legs. So that you would engage your muscles sooner than you would. The other one is where you lift them up and you jump and pull it off. We won't do that because we need our training partner. That is the specific move. If you can do that, that's sucks. So, all right, now we're going to talk about Darce. Darce. So we're here. We maybe tried the Anaconda, but it's just not working. We keep our move. I like to keep this together. Right? One makes it this, the other one straps around the wrist, makes it tight, like a knot on the rope. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over and we can switch to a gable or an S, right? To keep the head down. You can do this a few ways. You can finish from here. There. Principle is going to be similar. We want to come in and bend his neck, but I can't really walk my legs. I'm here. I'm going to either drive towards him, and sometimes with this you can just let your chest weight come in and hit it, or you can switch. Come in, make it that way. Either one of those ways. If the person feel like you can do it, we're here, come over his head, and I drive it. And then I lock it in. Finish the same way. Chest pressure going that way, or turn, drop, throw your leg over. Okay? You have those options with the Darce. Now, a Darce can come from multiple angles. I'm sure you guys see different people do Darce jokes. The reason I like this chain of events is that you're coming around, you can go this way, Anaconda, swing it through, get the Darce, right? Especially if a person's playing turtle. You can also get it from side control, multiple avenues. Let's work that one real quick and give our partners a shot. 1, 2, 3. The tricky part is you have to actually fall to your side to shoot it through.
This one's good shooting in the neck. It's not coming from the back of the shoulder. And I keep saying, the gable with the foot, take the forearm and put it on the back of the foot, and shove the foot out.
Now this time,
No,
when you
it's
next time,
working.
dive through, get your hand up.
Pulls it out like that.
Okay, hang on. Over here. And don't leave. Turn your shoulder. So do me a favor, Cody. It's like
Right.
To get this, you want this arm shot through as far as you can.
now when you shoot that through, dig your shoulder almost like a falling check.
Then you can shoot this arm to almost that hand.
Like drop it and try from there. Just pull up. Like you did before. Drop your chest.
Once you get it
pressure
far
right,
enough.
get that.
So
I'm here.
And let it ride in.
No.
Nice. No, because maybe the game.
I think spine's got my head too. I think the actual lock works better for me on the Darce.
You've got to hang
Head.
your arm out. Dude, sometimes guys are coming like this.
And you can drive into it.
See where I'm at? To me, this feels stupid
Drive.
But if I keep,
Once you get it,
so what if I keep this and he comes into me, say that he kind of puts himself in it, but I feel like there's an avenue for him to escape. That way, right there, he keeps his head down. So even, like I said, maybe here. So fall your head, fall to your side of your head. See how far out your hand is shot? And now try to slide it up. See if you can get it. Right here. How's that? Just to a space? Yeah, but that's a good middle ground, I guess you could say. Put it right here and then put it on your form like this, and then just to experiment. Now drop your weight and sprawl into it. And just let it go nice and easy. Did you get the tap? Okay. So maybe
Drop that chest.
so maybe this is a little better.
This would be Anaconda.
So drop all the way to your hip. I mean, straighten that leg out. Yeah. Now we're gonna
too, I think we gave him grip.
Yeah.
Then,
You can get it like that. Then what you'll do is you either roll it there and then turn to your left hip. And walk towards his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was messing him on trying to figure out what I was doing. I was messing him on talking about.
Yeah, you can try to maybe fall all the way to your hip.
Yeah, try it.
It feels,
Can't get it all the way either.
so try the forearm.
No, you gotta do the loop.
So make your loop around the hip, one head and arm, with your hands. So you're gonna drop all the way to your left shoulder. So you're not pulling it, you're dropping around it to bring your hand.
I was actually able to grab my bicep that time.
So keep it loose, drop all the way here. Straighten this leg out. And just drop to your hip. Poke this hand out. That's kind of how far you have to go, right? But you gotta be able to do this.
I don't know what's wrong with me there. Oh, my breath back.
So instead of this, if this is not working,
Yeah.
just get rid of it and hold it tight until you feel like you can slide your hand. And then you open up your hand, open it up, and you just slide out. But you have to bring
Yeah, I talked to Jeff. He said,
yeah. And now you can just walk towards his leg, or you can come up on your feet and drive your chest
Ground up.
Yeah. You see how he's moving? Yeah. There you
so
go.
the hanging
Now,
with that
with that
6'8",
adjustment, he
and you
moved,
lose about 40
drive your chest in.
from hanging.
Step
And
back.
like with the cuts we got, it was so lean and like well done, and that's what
You're doing
I'm
it.
Yeah. So, all right.
T-Rex arms.
Last one is going to be the Peruvian necktie. Then what we will do is we'll take about 5 minutes and we'll switch partners up so everybody has an opportunity to go to everybody so we can feel a little bit of body styles. And then what we'll do is we'll give it a shot. Peruvian works gi, works no gi, because it doesn't really consist of getting around the grips. It's just basically a loop around his head and then you sit into it. I'll do it every once in a while. This is not one that I've ever seen anybody do. The Peruvian necktie is their finishing move. You know, some people are known for guillotines, some are known for arm bars, some are known for rear naked chokes, collar chokes, all the Peruvian necktie. I've never really seen a person rise to the heights of championship with Peruvian neckties. Because once you, first of all, if you're turtle and they start to put it in there, you can kind of sense it's coming. But it works. If you can get it, it's like once a quarter. Once every couple months, or if it's a new guy, you're gonna get it. But if you do it every once in a while and someone's not paying attention, you'll grab it. All right, so we're here. You came in for that, and let's just say he's putting his hands like in there and he's just holding on to your arms like this, because he knows, look, I said going left and right. This is a perfect setup for Peruvian, because he's just keeping it right around his neck. And there's really nothing in there that's gonna stop it from happening. I'm at my angle. I want to step up past his hand, letting the back of my thigh rest on his head. I'll then change and adjust my weight to facing across his body, and then I come up and I throw my leg over his back. And then from here, the finish is I just start to pull back. It seems as though it's ridiculous, it should not work, but let me tell you, if you're in it, it starts pulling on your neck, and you're like, I can't get out. It's just like, what? And you're upside down, it's ridiculous. But the key points of why people lose this is they step up, and then they'll try to fall back here to throw their leg over, and as you can see, his head pops out. But if I step up and then turn, it's still there. As I fall, the leg comes over, and then I come up. I still have to loop around where I'm pulling. Throwing the leg over is important, but if you fall too prematurely and you don't keep the leg on the back of the head, their head's gonna pop straight out. So when you step up for it, that's why you accentuate the step. Another reason, if I step shallow, he's gonna take his hand, put it on my foot, and it's over. So if I come here, yeah, he's gonna pull his head out, no matter how good, or if I got, yeah, he might come up to a single, whatever the case. So if I come in here, boom, step up. Here. Now can you put your hand? Yeah. I turn. You just want to make sure that your heels are maybe pointed towards each other. And then you can start to pull. You never change from this grip. I'll switch to this. Just start to pull.
Seems like that was harder to finish when you sweaty and no gi.
That's why I like this. Because the fist, like if I were to try any other variation, you're right. Even if, so when I'm here, this is weak. When I hook it on that, it makes it tight, and then I'm pulling it up. So that V is cutting off the circulation. Like I said, they're upside down too, so it's not, the orientation is a little weird.
Like I just know the two finishes in the gi, like at the handles
Yes.
and the no gi, you're totally
And
dependent on the hand not.
This is one of those, of all of these, I would try the Peruvian necktie in the gi before I try the Anaconda or the Darce. Reason being is because the material will bunch up and you will have to do some extra squeezing and some extra space removal because that padding will act as a buffer against your vessels. You can still finish it, don't get me wrong. But I prefer collar chokes in the gi because they're precise and they go straight for the vessel. The bunching up of your gi, their gi, and all this other stuff, so you can still get it, it just requires more. Peruvian necktie, no worries, it's good, right? And the material, your gi pants, their gi top, once you throw that leg over and everything, you know how it feels when the gi gets on gi and it kind of locks in. That's the feeling you're gonna get, it's gonna be tough. But with this, I'm here. That's why I don't do this stuff.
You're just talking about keeping your fist closed.
Even when you're sweaty, you can lock the bottom portion of your hand here on that. And you're not pulling this way. The grip is this way. So there's that. And the more they try to fight that grip, they're not paying attention to trying to push the leg off. Like we showed, the skate is pushing that foot down, getting it off the back of your head, right? And if you miss that opportunity, well then it's pretty much a wrap. So anybody need to see it again? All right, on three, give her a part. 1, 2, 3.
This hand is making the fist.
I do the bottom.
This bottom.
Yep. And you step up higher. So I'll step that foot by his elbow. If I can get the foot by the elbow, yes. And when you do that, pulling in for that, turn to your side. So when you drop in, so I'll be here. Don't like, right? Here. Step up, turn a little bit, and then as I drop to the hip, let me get that leg over. Space, turn, and I can it allows you to put it stuff.
I think that's the other thing too, is with the gi, because you're just feeding that lapel through, you have all that extra room to back up and step over.
Sure, but you do the lapel when you ask.
Because you have more room to pull your torso over.
Now face. Make sure. See how it popped out? Yeah. So when you pop up and you push him back. So when you pop up and you push him back, I step and then I chase.
Loose weight.
I'm pulling up already. Now when I can fall, I'll slide my knee over and I pump with this tight, and it allows me space to throw my leg over. But I'm keeping it tight before I turn and face the other way, locks it in here. As you go to fall to your hip, fall into your hip instead of backwards, and your leg is right over. And the finish is push up with your hands and push away with your legs. So you just turn the
I
wrong.
just feel like I can't get my legs like
Try
that.
both sides and see which one you might be just trying on the side that you're not doing. Which side do you have the fist on? Left hand or right hand? Try the back hand being the fist. For some reason, it might make a difference. So step up to the elbow.
Big difference.
Boom. Now turn towards me. Pull him up. Pull his head tight.
Doing a handstand, now drop it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the pulling up the head behind him.
You just turned the wrong way the first time.
That was just weird.
It's very weird. When you first do it, you're just kind of like, this should never work. You can catch him without them escaping. Especially when the guy just rests and turtle and doesn't want to come out of it. So the way I do it is, whatever hand is underneath, when I make the fist. Because remember, look here. With our rear naked chokes, when we take the back, the top hand hangs, and the bottom hand hooks. In this scenario, the underhand hangs, the top hand hooks. Pull up on his head. If you're like this, you can additionally grip. But if I'm here, I pull this up on his neck, and just get behind my thigh.
Sit on people.
And that way,
I just want to sit on people and not use it against you.
No, I was thinking about hair.
that's what I gotta do. And I'm just going like this. They got some good girdling.
God, Matt.
Now, when you step up, pull his head under your thigh. Face me. Now fall to your hips. Let you go over. Yes. Yeah. You good?
He can't get his arms around me like that.
Thanks, he can, like, no problem.
Yeah, you guys switch in with each other so that we can get a little different look.
When you grab Garrett, man, his armpit to his neck is about that big. It's like, damn, I feel like I need to grab my elbow and pull it
Hey, you'd be surprised. Sometimes with some different guys, I'll do this. To start, I think we were talking about the other day, I'll start like this and hold it. We were actually talking about anacondas and such. So when I'm setting it up with him, I wouldn't come here like this. So I'll come in and I'll go elbow to elbow like that. And then I can turn. So I'll be like this. And then when I'm turning, try that. Just go elbow to elbow while he
Like I can't.
yeah, pull it up tight. Pull him up tight. So then when you're ready, when he's done fighting, then slide. Anaconda. Like if you're doing an anaconda, face me. Face him. If you're doing an anaconda, here, then you're gonna go like this.
At this point or after the roll?
No, right now, before you roll. So you're yes. See how you never really let up?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about you closed it all up like this.
As he did his stuff, look, he's doing this. You keep it tight with elbow to elbow, and then you can slide it in.
I couldn't get my foot over, but
Yeah.
still had to.
That's what when I have someone who's got a thinner frame. Or
Yeah, but
when I do this, and it takes space away because your initial moments is what's going to dictate if you finish right or not.
on the neck.
You're going to pull the back of his head up against your thigh.
Whenever you made that
Yep.
adjustment.
Now face me, face me, face me. Now fall to your hip.
Previously, it would show you, but
So you're going to need to fall to that hip. Just fall, leg over. Leg should be able to come up and over. Can't do it.
armbar and any kind of.
He may be bigger than you to be able to do this one too. Get some flexibility. Yeah, that's the.
Even when I do like the chest.
That just made a difference, yeah. That made a difference on which hand you got to manifest with. Cause I had it with the opposite hand, I didn't do it, I just did it with him, with the right way. Yeah.
It's almost baseball bat.
If you look at all these, it's all about getting rid of space. What Matt was doing, he was working with Garrett, and he said he felt like there was too much space initially that he would be able to get out. With CJ, with Garrett, guys, and people with smaller frames, I do this. I'll come in, elbow to elbow. They'll swirl around, boom, boom, boom. Let's say their head is here, and I want to do an anaconda. And I get here, and I keep everything tight while they move, boom. And then when I feel like I have my opportunity, watch this. Break it down, roll. Or if it's Darce, I'll come here. When I'm ready, boom, 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 shoot through, boom. But that keeps them for those first moments. Your foundation of the submission is important for the rest of the submission. If it's not solid, you're going to lose it, right? Just keep it.
Yeah.
And it's a mental thing. If you grab them like that, and there's no space, and they're just like,
I felt like yours was tight.
how long are they going to do that? Remember, who's on the clock? You or them. They're on the clock for the submission. They need to get out because they're being attacked.
You can hold it without using a lot of energy.
This, try this. This is, and all you're really doing is you come in here and you're bringing your elbows to your body. Give it a shot. Give it a try.
Here, and we go. And now we have this little pocket to work with, and that's where
This one right here.
Now get out of it, Ryan. Fight to get away.
I had to 5 feet. So I got 1 foot out. I said, it's free. That's all. So you try it.
You just hold on, Caleb, until you feel like you're ready to do either Anaconda or Darce.
Yeah.
Or up to the Peruvian. Anytime they fight the hands, that's a good setup for the Peruvian because they're not worried about stopping the foot. Their hands are so it's back and forth. So when I'm rolling with someone and I want this to be the way, you can do that, boom. Keep working your leg over, fall to your left shoulder, and your leg, there you go, your leg can be so when you get here, and I shoot in, and I go elbow to elbow, I'm here, right? Push it in on it, go ahead and move on this.
Get closed off, man.
Hit the ball, right? Now I can choose which one I want to do. Back up to you. But if I sit here, and make this move to here, boom, here it reaches for my hands and it's like, oh no, I don't want it. Perfect.
But again, that's
Good. Your hands are out.
I don't think I
Because imagine your hands are here, hit on back like Darce is here.
Feel back that way.
So free is that
Or a different angle. It's just an angle. Right, you're kind of.
My leg out. I
The
can't
leg,
sign.
the leg gets thrown over it.
supposed to sit out.
Yeah, well, and I so I got this one. Yeah.
Over your
head.
Peruvian, which I
So I'm trying to follow that out deep enough. I'll do it that big, because that's what I don't get.
I'm pretty mental move, right?
Oh, the other way. So the one that comes, the leg that I bring up behind the arm. Okay, so
They
I'm
just
going
grab
to
my
adjust.
legs.
I'm
By the
going
way, they just start grabbing my legs. Like that here.
to
You stand up, you want to squat. You squat on your feet. If you're about to do.
Yeah.
You just start gathering legs.
show you how to do this shit.
Are you not right away? Yeah.
Let me see that on my head. So for me, this is important too. One hand that comes underneath needs to be your fist, and the one that comes by the neck needs to be the pulley, right? So if I come in here, so elbow to elbow, and you're here. Now, remember like you just said, when you try to get a leg, reach for your leg. So you reach for my hand sharp kind of bend. Can you reach for my leg now? That shit. So this is the key to being like, okay, I can try to overthink if their hands are right. And look how you're at. So I'm doing here, you're trying to defend this, right? So you want your hands to come in. I get in that goal.
Get now my feet free. If I can get 1 foot free and on the other side, I'm good. I can stretch in.
But if your hands are out, go ahead and put your hands out. So if I come in here, and I'm elbow to elbow, and your hands are out, that spot is now, they're free. I can break them down and start working on some jokes.
You're talking about just switching up from.
So if the hands are out, and you can reach for my leg, then I can start moving for the other jokes.
So I can just switch it up.
Yeah. So when you feel their hands come in, well, they're busy. They're not gonna stop this.
I see what you're saying. That's when you decide what you.
Yeah. So there is a hierarchy.
Instead of just focusing like I'm doing Peruvian.
If you just come in and you say, I'm doing a Peruvian, and their hands are out like this, yeah, they're gonna grab it.
Right.
But if their hands are out, and give some
So what
leverage.
you're telling me is not to have television. Like I've had for a while.
I don't say don't have television, just shy away from it.
Try not to focus on that.
Try not to, well, no, I mean, just look at this as a triple threat.
Yeah.
If they lean their arms out, guess what they're doing? There's all this space that they're leaving. So you can go boom,
That's what I was
boom.
talking about last week when I was like, man, I need to remind myself
Yeah.
that, dude, you're not limited to just that. Like, they have so many more things.
If your game, and if your game is really getting them on their back, you can go for that Darce, just lock the gable, pull them up and put them
That way my
on their
shoulders
side.
and into my neck.
There's options. There's options.
But if I wrote it down on the card, gave it to the ref before I did the match, I can do it.
So get in here, like when you got them down, like I was fully locked and was literally over here.
You got it fully locked?
Yeah.
So go ahead, lock it in there.
He was like, I
There's
can't,
still space
I
there.
can't, yeah, defeat the shoulder.
So don't go all the way around that. So when you went that way, you're not able to press this in, right? So let me see here. Let me see. Two knees. So we come here. We get him down. We get here. Now watch what I do with my chest. Who's on the clock? Good. What did I do is this. We know where the space is at.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of the space.
You're the one that suffers, you know?
We know where that space at. You showed me the space. So you know that with him and guys of his physique build, there's going to be space here. When you circle down, you allow that to stay open. That seems awesome. It seems like, dude, I'm cranking his neck. But cranking his neck down like this, if you're choking here, yes. If you're doing deltoid and you go here, if there's space here, no. So here, I'll even, so come here. So we come in, we go. Boom. We come in. Am I choking you? No. See? Slide it down. And it's not going to happen.
It's got like a slow burn.
And like I said, have it in your mind. I'm throwing a submission. Who's on the clock? Is it me or is it them? Because if I'm there, an impatient person would have pushed it in and been like, dude, he's not tapping. It's been like a whole 3 seconds and he hasn't tapped. What's going on? I got to adjust. You ever done that? Yeah. Oh man, I got to adjust. And he goes,
Well, you almost had me.
yeah. You know who's famous for that? You know who's famous for that? Awesome. I can't tell you how many times in the last decade I've been rolling with him, I've been choking him, I look at him, he's like, and as soon as I go to adjust, he goes, now when he does that, I just look at him and I start laughing, and then he's like, he's gonna start making faces because I know I've been like, dude, this is my first rodeo with you. So when you're doing that, don't let up. Notice I slid my chest down, keeping pressure, and then I drove back in. When you go to adjust to slide your chest, you're lightening up a little bit, so you will need to tighten this in a little. Just slide your chest down. And just start driving in and breathe. Take a nice slow 5-second breath. You'll be surprised when you exhale, your body will sink in a little more. And that person's still fighting. And you hear the gurgling? Gurgling's a good noise. It means we're almost there. It's almost there. And then as that gurgling happens, you're just like, okay, don't move. Be patient. Be patient. Yes.
If you're sprawled on top, like similar to rocket science, if you fart with that,
The propulsion, maybe, because you're actually exhaling in a different way.
like if that fart.
Dude, right back down.
All right, guys, so that is a little bit of an option that you can have from that positioning, the loop. You can fraternal twin submissions. They're similar, very similar, not quite the same. There's some finish. I think the bigger takeaways today is removing the space. The global takeaway. Take away the space, be patient when you're on top, and kind of figure it out, right? Body sizes, different builds and frames, you're gonna have to adjust. The minute details are gonna be with your Anacondas, is breaking that down, keeping that across, tightening if you can, but then walking your hips towards their hips. Darce, get that arm out as far as you can. A lot of good times. The most, I will say, the safest way to finish that is if you can get them on their side and pressure in your chest. That's less movement and less moving parts, less steps. It's easy. You can also turn your hips, make it nice and tight, and then walk similar to Anaconda. Peruvian, hand that comes under is the fist. The one by their neck is the pulling hand. And when you go to pull, put their head on the back of your thigh, turn, follow your hip, your leg should go over. All right? Feet together,